Welcome to the AGS classes. Uh, I start today's lesson first with an apology for the mistake that was conducted in our last class. In last class, we talked about 5 senses, and luckily it is already there on the board. Skin for sense of touch, ears for hearing, tongue for taste, and then that was just an overlook or over ambitiousness mentioned that ears for smell. In fact, that should be nose. That should be nose for smell, and of course eyes for vision. And we started with our class. Thanks for sending that reminder that this was an overlook and as far the sense organs are concerned. Let me now clear off these sense organs and begin with our today's class. In our last class, we talked about the structure of eye, and a diagram was drawn there. Various indicators were drawn there. No labeling was done, though labels were mentioned, and you were asked to write those labels and let you check it with your answers, or let you check it with whatever you have written, that if you had labeled them correctly. This one right on the top, this is retina, R-E-T-I-N-A, retina. The second one, this is choroid, C-H-O-R-O-I-D, choroid. The outermost layer, that is sclera. Sclera, in some cases, it is also written as scleroid. So whether you write it sclera or scleroid, it doesn't make much difference because it is representing the same outermost layer. Then this chamber, this pointer that is indicating the portion behind this lens before this retina, this is vitreous chamber, V-I-T-R-E-O-U-S, vitreous chamber. This portion which is slightly in the retina, which is slightly bent inwards, that in fact is the region where maximum distinct picture is formed. That is fovea centralis. I am writing it in italics. Fovea centralis. Fovea centralis. This is the point where a sharp image is formed. Another indicator, this is just pointing to the same region between retina and the lens as the one on the top, that was vitreous chamber. Now, should I write it vitreous chamber again? No. This here, in fact, is pointing out for the material. We said that it is a jelly-like material which is called vitreous humor. This is vitreous humor. Same spellings for vitreous and humor, H-U-M-O-U-R. Mind it that some other English books, they will mention it H-U-M-O-R, humor. This portion where the optic nerves are leaving the eye, where they are leaving that retina, that is referred as blind spot. Blind spot. Finally, these nerves which are leaving, these are the optic nerves. Some of the labels I have written them in 2 lines. Now, we should be careful about some of these aspects, that when a particular word is written in 2 lines, then the first part should end with a small hyphen so as to give an indication that yes, the rest of the part is mentioned there in the next line. Similarly, here vitreous humor, it again gets that hyphen as well as this optic nerves. Now, coming to the other side, on the left hand side, the portion right here on the top here, that is iris, IRIS. This second portion, this is the extension of that sclera, that is called cornea. In between, in this iris, there is that small hole-like structure that allows that light to enter. That is the pupil. The portion in between this lens and the cornea, that region is referred as aqueous chamber. AQUEOUS, aqueous chamber. Now, this portion is the lens. Then these muscles at the base of the suspensory ligament, they are the ciliary muscles. Ciliary muscles, right? These thread-like structures are referred as suspensory ligament. And once again, I mark this pointer in between this lens and the cornea. Mind you that one part has already been labeled as aqueous chamber. So this portion is aqueous humor. Aqueous humor. Aqueous humor is that watery substance present in front of the lens up to cornea. So these are the various labels as far eye is concerned. When we draw this diagram in our examination, it is all that important that we write that this is a structure of human eye. Structure of human eye. Whenever you draw this diagram, you should mention that yes, this is the structure of human eye. So it's all okay. Any questions you may write in the comment box at the end of this video. Now we are going to deal with the functions of various parts. So here we get started with the functions of various parts. Right here in front of the eye, the transparent part that we see, that is cornea. Cornea is the third structure from that sclera. This refracts the light to a maximum level, and all that reflected light that gets into the eye, and then eye lens will focus it onto the retina. So the main function of this cornea is to refract the light rays. Next part is lens. Lens that again refracts the light. And mainly it focuses the image on retina. The light has already been refracted by this cornea. Remember that cornea refracts the light, and then the aqueous chamber, which contains aqueous humor, that is also going to reflect the light thirdly, this lens, biconvex lens, this is also going to reflect light. Then we have this jelly-like material in this vitreous chamber. We refer to it as vitreous humor. That is again going to reflect the light, but that is the total refraction which will occur in the eye. Now, the function of this lens is mainly to focus the light rays onto this retina, and when the lens focuses the image on the retina, we get an inverted image. Inverted image. And inverted image, as you are aware, that inverted image is always real. So we get a real inverted image on a retina. We get a real inverted image on a retina. Now that real inverted image, now you may wonder that, but we see the person in front of us as upright. The person is upright, but the image formed on that retina, that is real and inverted image, and that sensation will be carried by these optic nerves to the brain, where in that optic lobe that will be sensed, that will be interpreted, and it will be re-inverted, and we see and we visualize it as an erect object. Right. Then we have these ciliary muscles. Ciliary muscles, very important. When, yes, as you are studying for the exams, you are reading it for fun's sake, you get too much involved in this reading business. You are having that books close to yourself. You are straining your eyes. These ciliary muscles get strained. They get strained. They are continuously contracting, leaving this suspensory ligament as relaxed, and the eye lens is bulging out, focusing the image on that retina. So when these ciliary muscles are in contracted state for a longer time, you may feel some pressure on your eyes or even on your this temporal region. Now you start feeling that yes, it is too much time reading, but then you need to relax. Now what should you do to relax? Now to relax, you need to look at a distant object. When you are looking at a distant object, at that moment, these ciliary muscles, they will relax. When the ciliary muscles will relax, as I said in my previous class, that suspensory ligament and ciliary muscles act antagonistically. So when ciliary muscles are relaxing, suspensory ligament will contract. That will pull this lens from top and bottom, and the lens will become thinner. As lens becomes thinner, that will increase its focal length, and the image of a distant object will be formed on the retina, and you will relax. Within a short while, you will feel that yes, whatever strain was getting developed on the eyes or on the temporal region, that will get subsided, and that is it. This fovea centralis is that region of the retina where we get very sharp image, and it is having a large number of rods and cones. This retina consists of rods and cones. Rods and cones. These are the two types of cells. These are the two types of cells which are present in the retina. Then what is the function of these rods and cones? The rods are responsible for vision in dim light. When you are moving into a dark room, it takes a little time for you to get adjusted to that darkness. What happens is that the size of the pupil will increase. That will allow a greater amount of light to get onto the retina, and get into the eye, and the image will be formed there. Now, that will give you a glimpse of the objects which are present in that dark room. It may not be very distinct images, but it will help you to see the objects in darkness to some extent. Cones are responsible for viewing the objects in bright light. When you are there in the bright light, then the cones are responsible for your vision there. And cones are also responsible for the distinction in various colors. Various colors, they get distinguished with the help of these cones. That is rods and cones present in red. Optic nerves are the nerves which carry the sensation to the brain, and they carry it to the optic lobe they carry the message or the information to the optic lobe in the brain, where all the sensations will be received and interpreted. Iris is that colored circular portion in our eye that we look into someone's eyes. That contains that small hole-like structure in it, which we refer as pupil. Now, when we are in bright light, the iris will contract the size of the pupil. That will contract the size of the pupil so that a limited amount of light enters the eye. Because retina is very sensitive layer, it should not be affected by all that much brightness of light out. But at the same time, when it is dark, when you are in a dark room, then this iris will expand the pupil, letting it a large amount of light to come in so that the image is perceived distinctly. That's all. If you have a question, you may write it in the comment box. You may refer to my email anilbhalla1959@gmail.com. Please press that like button, share it, and subscribe it. Have a good day.